address this too, because you mentioned something. You're like, I'm able to identify something and I'm able to talk about it, but there's no action being done. So the question I would present to you is that what is the resistance between the identification of the problem, the articulation of the problem, and the implementation of the solution?
Ego.
Exactly. So now that you've identified the ego, like now it's like, okay, what's your process to get over that? You know, like what, like, and that's not, I guess that's not an answer that you can give immediately, because if it was, we'd be over it already. But that's where your focus needs to be. It's like, how do I get over my ego? How do I get over my pride to now get this? Because the pride comes right before the downfall. That's literally like the way it goes. Like, that's the problem.
Oh,
like,
I know.
Yeah. So it's like,
I know.
It's like you will shoot yourself in the foot. You will hang yourself on your pride, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's like once you get off of that, like it's something else. Because bro, a lot of things you want, those are things that I also desire in my business as well. But I just do not care about it to the, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to like sacrifice the relationship with my children and my wife, like, you know, for it. And I don't have to. That's the best part. I actually do not have to at all. It's not even on the table. So it's like, I can be very successful. I can be very, very much so the top class or even the best ever at what I do. Because number one, the bar is so low. So in terms of other pool businesses, the service you provide is miles ahead of them already.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's,
So they prove it.
I don't compare myself. That's the thing. It's just me versus me, which is a good thing, but also
But that ego. So that's ego again, because
It's ego.
it's not you versus you, because it's actually you against your competitors, because that's how capitalistic market works. So like in terms of like the service that you provide, like we're talking about like when you're doing presentations to other pools in the future.
yeah. I
There's
don't do any presentation.
no one
because
goes-
I do no sales,
I
and I
know.
turn down so much business.
I understand.
It's crazy because we're so like our
You guys
services
are so busy. I know, but I'm saying that like
Yeah.
if you had the capacity to actually do presentation, things like that, it's a no-brainer that people should work with you, because there's no other service that can compare to your level of service, right? So like the product, the service, and the solution you provide is unique and top class. So that's not the issue. So now the issue now is
But
what?
The issue, I guess, with that is like I could be say if I had the mental capacity, be like to go like meet with these other pools and like pick up more clients, I would be super confident in there if I was at the helm, you know, and I was doing it all. If that makes sense. Like I don't know if I could.
Which is your pride? Yeah.
I don't
Because
know if I could sell if
'cause you're
someone else was running it.
Because your service. Oh, okay.
Because I know, like, hey, I could go to say, hypothetically, I go in a boardroom with like general manager,
Yeah.
beautiful country club, and be like, hey, they're like, why should I hire you? I'm like, you'll hire us because if there's something wrong, I will be there or my father will be there,
Yeah.
without question. It could be 4th of July, Labor Day, Memorial Day, Monday, whatever day it is. If something's wrong, we will answer and we will be there.
So, again, that's why I think it's very important to know your competition, because that will now help you address the strengths that your employees have and their capacity, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that you don't say that in the board meeting, because you guys could still pull up, right? Because it sounds like that's what you want to do. But
Well,
like,
at this current stage, that's just I guess our selling point is like when
Yeah.
I go meet with these high end clubs, I'm super. People probably most people be nervous or timid.
yeah.
I'm.
But you can change your selling point, right?
I understand that.
But in order for you to sell change your selling point, you have to have faith in another segment of the business. But if you're just focusing on that, you're not going to even explore the other segments of your business that you can have the same level of confidence and faith in as yourself. Because at the end of the day, man, like you're gonna have to trust other people. Like when you're in hospital, yeah, like your dad took over, but God forbid, what if your dad's not around now? So who's your vote of confidence? Who's your faith in? So like that's a big I mean, obviously,
That's all I got.
obviously,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
I mean.
No, you're that's
And I think that really is her defining factor, right? Because this is where now we're like, because I really believe it or not, I guess you may not believe it, but like I'm equally as driven, if not more driven than you are, right? But now the question begets itself is like, how am I able to maintain good relationships, all that stuff? And I would say it's the degree of faith that I have in the big guy upstairs, right? Because at the end of the day, like I trust God more than myself. I trust God more than anything, right? Because I believe that he created me, and if he created me, he knows more than I know. The manufacturer of my car knows more about my car than I do. So like, I'd be a plumb fool to think that, right? So, but long story short, like that's super important because like without that, like it's very difficult for you to walk. So you walk into confidence of yourself, but like if you really look at it, like yourself could even fail you. Like your body can literally fail you even if you have the will to keep going. But like I know and I believe that God can never fail. So when I walk into the meeting, I have that confidence, like, oh, like, why should you get me? Well, I might not articulate it, but in my mind, I'm like, because the strength of the living God is behind me. Like literally, quite literally. Like I may not necessarily know all the details, but I know that everything will work out for good, right? And it's that vote of confidence that things will align, right? And things of that nature. So like that's really where faith like is super important. Because like faith is a substance of things hoped for, substance of things hoped for, evidence of something unseen. So like, it's hard to have faith if you're trusting in yourself, because yourself, you can see yourself, you know what you're capable of. So which is like wild. So it's like it's very interesting how like faith, in some regards, whether it be like not having faith in other people, like and things of that nature, can actually hinder your business in a way.
Yeah, and I do have trust issues.
Yeah.
Because I, again, unfortunately, been exposed to a lot of people in my life where they say they're going to do things and then they don't do it.
Exactly.
Even people that's very close to me, that's very common. And so that, people that that you thought or you should be able to trust and lean on, they don't do what they say they're going to do. And so that's where like I think it's like it's a weird thing because like not that I want to trust, but it's like I know like I test people on not like put it out there.
I do all the time too.
And so for right now, if like I have something that has to get done, and like the people I have with me say they're gonna do it, but then like they don't really do it, and so like that's why I think I have to like check in or constantly like did you do this? Like is this getting done? Like that type of thing, and it's like. It's more work than it needs to be, if that makes sense. Versus,
Of course it is. Because now you're expending so much energy just making sure everyone's doing what they said that they said they wanted to do. Yeah. Which is so exhausting.
Versus like my HR guy.
He's rock solid.
Hasn't showed
full vote of confidence,
Full confidence.
Because he's earned it.
And he's the first person that I've ever had working under me where I've had such confidence, and it's so freeing, if that makes sense. Because like for example, like yesterday morning, I emailed him like, hey, some girl wanted a W-2 form. I emailed him like probably I think like 9:30 or whatever, and like I'm driving to a pool, and then he calls me. He's like, oh hey, I'm on the phone with ADP. Like I don't have access right now to this, but if you talk to them, they'll give me the W-2 so I can send it to them. It's like most people would stop at like I don't have access, but he's like I'm gonna call and get this done, so then that way like this will be taken care of and you don't have to worry about it. Because most people would stop at like, hey, I don't have access, I can't do it. But he's like I'm gonna go to the next step.
He's also creative. He tries
problem solving. It's a puzzle, and it's like geez, it's like. It's just I've never met somebody who takes initiative like me like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's just like
very refreshing. Yeah.
It's like finally, it's like I could, this person's actually trying to make my life easier. I feel that generally for the first time.
Yeah, dude.
Is this person
it's like fantastic?
Yeah.
I realize the opportunity you're providing for him too. That income, because now, bro. So
it's the first time I've actually felt like this person's trying to make my life easier.
And it's possible there's more people like that out there.
Yeah, it's hard. I got very lucky, but I'm again.
But
he's proof that they're out there in the sense like he's the first, like you said, like that person is like it's proof that if I
do you ever have conversations with him like, hey man, do you have any friends that like work similar to you that you have the same vote of confidence in, or anyone that from work or your network? Have you asked them that direct question?
I haven't asked them.
Anyone you know from your family, your network, someone you've ran into, someone you've interacted with that has that you feel has your same mentality and has the same that are as solid as you are. It's like, bro, that's exactly what big corporations do, bro, and it works for them for a reason, right? So it's like, you don't have to look for people when sometimes the answer could be right before you, because even if he recommends someone, you don't trust them 100%. You continue to test them and see if they're rock solid. And guess what? That person probably knows someone else too. So then you slowly build your infinity group.
It's crazy, your Avenger team like that.
Yeah.
If you had a team of people like him, with myself, that you only need like 4 or 5 of those people.
I know.
And then if I had 5 of those people like that, I could double, triple.
So have you ever asked him that question?
No, I got it.
Yeah, bro, just ask him.
Yeah. I got this 5.
You have to slide out that pride and do it.
High color protect.
Because rather than saying you know what's right for the business, but doing that's where your ego kind of hits you. It's like, but I can still do it.
That pride.
I can still do it.
I think it's proving to also my father I can do it all like he did.
Yeah.
That's what I think it comes down to. It's like proving that.
Which may not be necessary, right?
No.
Because maybe you're more passionate about your Apollo Fuel, bro. So you're not selling the business, you're just growing it and making it self-autonomous.
Yeah, I'm not going to sell it.
Because you're generating revenue for your dad, for him to be in retirement with your mom.
Yeah.
And you're also generating your retirement plan, too, in this existing pool business that's been around for 30 years. So.
Yeah. Increase of generational wealth, hopefully.
And if it's autonomous, why not? It's just going to get better. People are going to want to swim more. But yeah, man, pride is so.
I'm so aware. It's the last chisel.
That's the tree that you have to. It's the only chisel. Just chop that thing down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not only in the business. Pride exists in every part of our lives. So once you chop that tree down, you constantly have to chop it down because it's always sprouting back up.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It's because as a man, pride, in personal relationships, intimate relationships, there's something in it's aware. It's ooh, it's like this shiny thing. It's I could do that and then get more recognition in the short term. Could get the nicer car.
Yeah.
You could have, but do I want the nicer car, or is that just ego so I could prove to people that?
Ego, bro.
And it's and it's the same thing everything. It's
and bro, we all deal with it, bro. I remember with my truck, I wanted to get a truck. So I just told the guy, and I took myself out of the thing. I was like, bro, listen, this is what I want. A truck that's lifted and has a bed cover. I don't care I thought I cared about the color, but I realized when he presented the truck to me, I didn't care about it was all about the price, right? I was I wanted to make sense because I know it's going to be a big financial thing. That was number one. But I could have easily went all out and just be like, what's your best truck? Take it, and then just keep with the Joneses kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it's but now you don't have anything to work for again. You've blown your load as well. So I think that's another dangerous thing. If you get the best thing as the first thing, you kind of lose all the fun in the whole game.
And that's a problem I've realized, with just the way I live life. You get desensitized to normal things, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
I'm very desensitized.
But you desensitize it by overstimulating, right?
Because I don't do drugs or alcohol often. I do drink once in a while. And I do
mushrooms.
Yeah, I do mushrooms once or twice a year, maybe depending on I drink maybe
He said not often.
I haven't done anything this season.
Yeah.
But my drug then is work.
Yeah.
It's 1,000% a drug. It's a hit because you got your cortisol, adrenaline, all that stuff. It's 1,000%. And it's the problem with that drug. It's a drug that is what's it called, society or friends, family, like, oh, like you work so hard, it's so good, like, you know, you're so successful, like you're.
It's a drug that's encouraged.
Yes, like, keep going, you're doing good. Like I see you're posting those videos of closing pools, like you work all the time, like that's crazy, like you're just a hard worker, like, and it just feeds the ego, feed it, yeah, like I always work, I'm always working, like yeah, I don't stop.
Yeah.
And like that's the ego is like, I'm always on, I'm always working, like I'm just non-stop go, it's just like, but who cares? You know?
So what are things in your life that kills your ego?
I think like realizing like how small I'm, like when I pray in the morning, like realize like that you know I matter, but I really don't matter that much. So like I think that grounds me, like praying in the morning, like my faith, that helps like kill the ego a lot. 'Cause, like I got nothing without that. And then like I had big ego kills, you know, I mean lucky, you know, getting sick and then you know breaking my neck, like my physical body, but like I put a lot of ego into like how you know fit and strong I am, and like you know that's something that honestly I'm aware of, and I don't like it, but like I tie so much of my worth also into my physical body, and I know that's like not because like at some point it's not going to, you know, I'm not going to be able to, you know, like bench 225 for 15 times. That's just, it's a reality. Like, you know, when I'm 65, 70.
Probably can't do that. I can, but not you. I can, but not you. I can promise you.
It'll be that guy we saw at Lifetime that day, like that man, I think he was like 65. And he had like 405 and he was repping it out. I was like, you're different.
Sir, you're not okay.
Yeah. But so like that's the thing, is like, you know, one day, but honestly it might be true that that day might be a lot longer than we think now with like, you know, technology and stuff like that. But still, I don't like how much pride and ego and like worth I put into my physical appearance. I think it's important, but I don't like that, you know, like when it's just crazy. It's already been a year since I broke my neck. I remember when I broke my neck, like it was literally a year ago.
That's crazy.
I literally thought that was kind of a wake up call too. Like it was literally like I got a reminder like the day actually I broke my neck, and I'm like, look how much has changed in your life since that moment. You know, like when that moment happened, you know, things were not going super well. Like I wasn't good with myself. I wasn't like, you know, I still had like some ego. Like I just, you know, was in a relationship I shouldn't have been in. So much stuff was going on, and then versus now, like when I was a year later, I woke up, it was like, it's almost like that year didn't even happen. Like I already lost sight of everything I learned. And it's like, did that year even happen, or am I back to the year prior, like how I was closing pools again? Like that old mentality. It's crazy how quickly I defaulted back to my survivalistic mode the year prior of closing pools, like that crazy season.
Wow.
So like that whatever 6-9 month span where I had some real realizations and like, you know, did some real work and like, you know, breakthroughs, whatever, quote unquote. It's crazy how quick I defaulted back to before that.
Wow.
Because like, you know, when life got hard or like work got crazy, I just like
go to what's familiar.
What's familiar? I'm like, I literally woke up and like, cause I'm like again going through emotions, closing pools, like it just like feels like it's just like I did this last year. I'm like, no, you didn't. You closed one pool last year, and then you broke your neck. You didn't close any pools.
Crazy.
And it's like you forgot that already. You know, it's like it's so crazy how fast I forget things. Like you know,
in general.
Yeah,
and we all do.
Like I lost, like you know,
human beings are forgetful, especially for like things that don't stroke our egos.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
we tend to remember we tend to remember things that exalt ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, you know that, you know, in high school I got that trophy, you know, or in college I did this, or in so and so I did this. Oh man, this was my best year financially. You know, we seldomly remember the humbling things in our lives. Yeah. Because our ego prefers to be stroked than choked.
But like but it's crazy. I had that moment, like that epiphany. I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago in the shower, and then like I've now been living my life differently. The last I've been more present with my relationships. I've been more, you know, a better, you know, friend, a better like less serious and less like who the, like this doesn't matter. Like, you know,
It really doesn't, bro.
yeah, like I was like, what am I doing? Like, dude, you almost died. Like a year ago today, you flew off a jet ski, you almost killed yourself, and you're already forgetting that.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, what am I doing? Like, it was kind of like, but it's just, I'm lucky I had like that crazy humbling time, because some people, they don't have that until like they're 65, 70 when they get a heart attack or the doctor, you know. So I'm grateful at a young age.
But some people never do. They just die.
Yeah.
They just the event just takes them away, and they don't have any time to reflect on it.
Or
you know what I mean? Like they literally, that event actually takes their lives away. It's like there's no option to now go back and relive and change. But like with you, it didn't take your life, so you have the opportunity to course correct.
Yeah.
Some people don't even have the opportunity to course correct. Like whatever happened to them, that tragic experience, that literally was the end.
Yeah. You know, if I
that's even a grace if you really consider.
Because if my neck probably wasn't, if I didn't have stronger, if I didn't work out per se, and I flew off there, I'd probably be dead.
Do you know what's so interesting in what you said? And just wanted to unpack real quick. You said something like, hey man, my physical body's a lot. It's something that I have big ego, big pride in. Do you think it's a coincidence that all three things that were humbling, whether it be the heart transplant, the random sickness, and the neck thing, all were things that were things that afflicted your physical body?
Not at all. Because honestly, when I got the open heart surgery, that was huge for me, because like up until that point, like, you know, not that I was a physical specimen, but
you were a physical specimen.
I was in great shape, like up until then, because I figured once I was
in your own strength, you were on path to be the absolute your unit.
Yeah, I was like always like dialed in, like working out an hour, 2 hours every day, you know, strong, all that, because once I figured out when I had to not be fat, be in shape, and then I got my heart surgery, but it was so humbling because before heart surgery, I'd probably bang out like 65, 75 push-ups in a row. And I remember literally being in the gym when I finally got the clearance to lift again. I couldn't even do one push-up. And so that made me a better trainer, because I started training people. And like, if I was just a unit, I'd be like, oh, what's going on? Like, you can't do this. But then I really start at zero again, like a novice beginner trainer. And I realized how mentally challenging that was, especially like for someone who, you know, only, you know, 4 or 5 months ago could do almost 100 push-ups, couldn't even do one. So that, again, that was humbling. And then it forced me also to be with myself, like for the first time really, and like slow down, and it wasn't good. Like that's when I really felt depression, if that made sense, because so much of my like ego, all that was tied to my physical body. So if I can't work out, I get depressed. So like that was the first time I really felt like that, like, you know, just anyone just sitting there doing nothing. So I went to work earlier at my accounting job because I was just like, I can't be with myself. And that's where I really realized I wasn't good with myself. I was just too young to understand. And then when I got the bacteria, I wasn't so much that I couldn't work out. It was more of like a realization of what I sacrificed in my life and the relationships I kind of have now because of that sacrifice. And I was fortunate I had you in my life and my family, but I guess like other friendships and other intimate relationships I didn't have. Besides you and my main family, like I saw like what like again, the business was just like family, so like I'm with them and like I work with them, but like I saw like kind of like firsthand like the cost, the toll of like, you know, being a workaholic. I kind of lost touch with my friends, like you know, I lost touch with I wasn't with I was not with the person I should have been with at the time, like ego relationship, and it kind of really showed. And I kind of like sat there, I'm like, I might actually die here. Like this is without a doubt very possible. First time in my life I felt like I was physically dying, and it was just like the physical wasn't even that. It was more so just like the realizing the relationships and realizing that the business and finances don't matter at all. Like, you know, like I don't care about that at all. You know, it was the first time I really felt that. And then I broke the neck. It was just more of an appreciation for living, if that makes sense. Yeah. It wasn't so much, and then like in that, like, you know, because I already had that lesson of like relationships and realizing work's not that important. So I already knew that. when I broke the neck, it was just more so of like, hey, like, don't take this physical thing for granted. Like you're, you know, and then it was like kind of identifying like I'm gonna now, even though I can't work out, I can't be strong, how do I still be of value? That was the question. Like the neck was like, okay, not good, but when I was bacteria, I want to die. I was like, God, I'm good. Deuces.
Savage.
I'm good. Like, take me out. I'm fine.
Thank
Like,
God he did it, man.
yeah. But I was praying he did because
But thank God he did it.
I'm very lucky, you know. But trust me, I was talking to her like
It would not have been good if he took you.
No,
Your mom would have been broken. Like
it's been very selfish.
Terrible.
Very selfish. Because that was again breaking my neck, heart surgery. That was something I've never experienced before. It was very. It's like if you touched my body, it was like weak. It was so weird. I remember like my calves were. I did weird calf pain. I remember like massaging my calf, and like I was like, it was just like I felt fragile and weak, like really weak for the first time. It was a very interesting thing. But yeah, and then I kind of when I broke my neck last fall, I'd explore like what purpose do I have besides just, you know, physical body? Like it was more looking into, you know, okay, I could still like, you know, do operation side of the business, like, you know, do behind the scenes type stuff, like work and, you know, do initiatives. But it was just a lot more time, you know, with myself. You know, just and I didn't like being with myself because I was like fighting it. I'm like, I don't like this.
No.
Yeah.
No. You're holding the mirror up. No.
I didn't like it.
I gotta get out of here.
And so that's when I made a conscious decision.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't want to do was be alone.
Yes.
And so I broke it off with that relationship.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to do the thing that I don't want to do.
Be alone.
Be alone.
That was tough.
Yeah, and like I knew.
I remember you texted me, bro. It's just tough.
I didn't want to do it, but I knew I had to do it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like you can either like, you know, run away from, you know, your
contact
or your darkness,
or lower your shoulder.
or it's
pad.
like you're there. Let's go right through.
Yeah.
And everything else in life, I always was like, oh, that's a problem. I'm gonna hit this head on.
Yeah.
But that was the one thing I didn't want to hit on.
Because it's hard, man.
Yeah.
There's no telling, bro. There's no telling.
And it definitely got a lot harder. And then the crazy thing is now, I mean, I do love being around people and stuff, but like, if I get alone time with myself, I cherish it.
Yeah.
Because I now love it. But also I'm in a situation where I think it's the healthiest is like, I'm so good with me that I'm never going to compromise, like, you know, respect, integrity to be with someone or to do things with people, because I'm just like, yeah, I love people and like I do value that, but I'm good with me.
Yeah.
Like I could go to a darkness retreat for 10 days and not see or anybody and just be like in my thoughts with the big man and like we're chilling. And honestly, I would look forward
He's
to
like,
it.
I actually would prefer that.
Yeah, I kind of need that,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like I'm at a point where I need just isolation from like the normal stuff, but no, it's just very interesting because I'm at a stage too where the last thing I'm learning for myself is like I gotta be like that person for myself to be like, hey, let's be present, let's be here. Because in the past with relationships, I would look for that golden retriever
Outside, yeah.
I would look for it outside, but that's fair.
Unreliable.
That's not fair.
They might just be walking out the door.
Yeah, it's not fair to a partner or to put in an expectation, but like that's the last leg I'm working on is like when I get in that crazy like chin strap survival mode, like, you know, do all that. I need to be that for myself. I can't expect or put that pressure on someone to be like, take me out of it. I gotta be like, hey dude, like, let's go for a walk. Like, you know, let's go do the sauna. Let's go do yoga. Like, this doesn't really matter. Let's detach from the trenches and just see the whole playing field.
Yeah, brother.
But like, so much of my life,
you relied on other people to be that.
Because that was my mom and dad's dynamic. Because my mom is like the super present in the moment type person.
Your dad's
is just not there. So she'd always be like, hey, be here. And he would say, no. And then when he had time to, she'd be like, okay, you're here now. Got you. You know? Because he needed that in a sense. Because like, you know, he denies it for so long. But then if he gets like a glimpse, like a vacation in the winter or something.
He loves it.
And then he's like, it's like, I'm like, how do you turn it off? I can't be like him. Like,
and he's
this
on
man
vacation. He's on vacation.
He could do nothing.
He veges out.
he like
because he's just actually exhausted.
yeah. I never met somebody who could like turn it on and off, except my sister actually.
Yeah.
She's probably one of the I call her the most competent and most driven, lazy person I know. Because she could get, if she wants to do something, she's the best at it, will get it done. But she could also be the same person that does not move off the couch for a whole day.
Wow.
And eats in bed and all that. But if she's like, hey, I want to go do this and like slay that dragon, she'll do it, be the best at it. But she could be like, and like not do nothing all day and be like, I'm like,
how do you do that?
but I think that's a skill. Because like, I think, for example, like we evolved hunter-gatherers, like we weren't hunting every day, all day.
Absolutely not.
We'd be lounging, sleeping when it's hot out, I think that's,
But you were the one out there hunting every day.
I'm hunting all the time.
Got a squirrel. We're like, all right, dude.
We just got this bison, why are you still hunting squirrels? Oh my god, they're like, you guys, you see this like,
You're like, but guys, because we have this bison, I have enough energy to hurry up and kill
yeah, I'm
these.
gonna store this extra meat, we're
Jerky,
storing it,
yeah.
we're gonna keep getting more meat.
But Tom, we have 800 pounds of bison meat.
Never enough. Need more squirrels. But like, but that's a mentality.
Yeah, of course, bro, of course.
Because I think for my sister, I think it works well because like she could. That's the thing. It's like turn it on hard, go hard, but then she could also be like off. Versus me, I could turn it on hard, but
I can't turn it
I
off.
can't turn it off.
It has to be turned off. It has to be extinguished.
Yeah. I think because it's like also maybe ego, pride, fear that if I turn it off, I can't turn it back on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It all goes back to that tree that needs to be cut down.
Yeah. I need to go chop some wood today.
Exactly,
You got me chopping. I'm actually physically chopping wood. I love that.
I know, it's great.
You ever chop
Your hands are ringing too.
You ever chop like wood?
Your hands ring.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, your hands ring like when you're doing it, especially if you don't hit it right or you're not smooth.
Oh,
Your hands are just ringing. Yeah, I have.
I want to be like I want that to be my no more pool like cover pulling, just chopping wood.
Throw on the lumberjack shirt.
Ah, get the beer going.
Oh, but I have to get going. I have to go get baby girl, my daughter. I've been dropping her off at school
Preschool?
every morning. Yeah, so I have to head stateside to my house so that I can
Yep.
shower, get ready, and be able to head out. But
Thank you
this
everybody
morning,
for
this
tuning in.
morning was a great episode.
It was.
We went into
Appreciate
some
it.
stuff. We went into some stuff today.
I'm packing some ego.
This week we went a little later because normally we're here Tuesdays, but it's Thursday. So
Thursday, yeah. But the cool thing is, last episode I broke into 2 parts because it was super long. So I guess
this is gonna be like 2 or 3 parts, bro.
Yeah, I can break this up into 2 parts too. So now we have this Wednesday we posted, next one is already posted, and so this one would probably be 2 more. So we're getting some in the bank.
What is this? Is this 36? What were we at? 40?
This will be 40, 41.
Wow.
We're in that 52. It's crazy. We're gonna get that 52 goal.
Yeah. Well, we're working towards it.
Consistency.
We're working towards it.
And I'm excited, and that's the thing too.
I don't compromise it. Like, even when the week gets busy, I'm like, this day. So what were you about to say?
And then I'm excited, when in the winter when I have more of my
Oh,
creative juices
dude,
flowing.
we will be able to, because I can come 2 days, like, we can figure out to do 2-3 days a week, yeah.
Or we could even, I think, my thought process is we could, instead of even doing 2 days a week, is like we set aside a time. It could be even a morning, whatever, and we segment. Instead of having to correlate 2 meetings, we record 2 or 3 episodes in 1 meeting.
Yes.
So we I have again creative side. I'll have a list of topics. Like, hey, let's do this. We'll talk about this for 20-30 minutes. We'll shut down. Next episode, we'll talk about this 20-30 minutes. Shut down.
Yes.
This way, because I think it's just a lot to correlate 2 or 3 meetings a week. It's just like 1 meeting, what time you can block, and this way you're here driving back and forth. Either of us, we get 3 episodes in 1 week
Yes.
or 1 day. If that makes sense.
Yes. My goal is 80 for the end of the year.
Oh, I like your goal. Ambitious.
Yes.
But thank you everyone for tuning out. Let this man go.
Yep.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
at 80 for the end of the year. So, but yeah,